Welcome to JM Youth Forum, a place where we shape the next generation. A place where we discuss issues like relationships, career and business advice, education and religious matters, and much, much more. So sit back, watch, and be informed. Your host is Laban Bithi.
Wow, it's another day that we are coming to you live from Mombasa in Kenya, and this is JM Talk Forum, where we bring to you news, we bring to you talk shows, and we also bring to you the good news. Now we are geared towards reaching out to the society, to the globe, the young people, the adults. That is what our program is structured to. But this show targets the young people. Maybe you are a parent there, you have children, you are a leader somewhere, you are leading young people. This one is just for you. So wherever you are, take your time, sit down, watch, share to your social media platforms so that it can reach out to so many people. And I'm very sure by the end of the day, it is going to be a great blessing. My name is Laban. I'm the host for tonight. And it's a great pleasure to have you listen to us. So feel much welcome. And we won't take much time. So I request you just take your time, listen. There's a number running down your screen. You can always make a call. You can always send a message. You can comment. You can ask your questions. You can even suggest a certain topic that you would also want us to discuss about. And we are going to be there to reach out to you. Wow. Back again to my friends. It's a new day. It's a great moment. It's a great pleasure to have you once again. And the world celebrates you because of the knowledge that you always release and you always impact the world at large. So feel much welcome. And we are going to introduce ourselves. Somebody somewhere doesn't even know who you are. And I'm happy that you guys look very smart and you are glowing with beautiful smiles.
Thank you.
So I begin with my brother here.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. My name is Isaac Ezisho, and I'm always looking forward for just to be in this show to speak to our viewers, because I know every word we speak, it is not from us, but it's from God to somebody who is listening to us. So it's an opportunity to become a blessing to the world. So thank you so much and welcome to tonight's show.
Wow, thank you so much, Isaac, and thank you for always being available.
You too.
Yeah, so welcome, my sister.
Greetings everyone, my name is Gloria Mwendwa. Once again, it's a pleasure to be here, to share in the word of knowledge, to share in wisdom, and we would love to hear from you. How are we doing so far? So welcome to the show, enjoy and stay tuned.
Wow, thank you, Gloria, for being instrumental to this platform and finding your time to come. We appreciate you so much. So karibuni sana.
Thank you.
We've been discussing a lot about the young people. We've seen our great desire is to see a generation grow, a generation that is very strong. when the foundation of an house is not well structured, that house will not last for long. That is the reason why we are equipping the young people with the right knowledge, so that when this person will get to the top, they won't stumble. Even if they stumble, they'll still get away to emerge. Yeah. So last time we talked about self-awareness in respect to building capacity. And today, our listener, we are still expounding further on the same. Because as you saw the other time, we didn't touch elaborately on everything that it entails. And even today, we may not even touch everything because it encompasses a lot. But I believe by the end of the session, you are going to grasp something that is going to be a blessing to you. And my panelists today, they are well equipped, and they have that content that we need. So guys, we spoke about self-awareness. We made the society or the audience know what it entails, or rather the definition, and we went deep, discussed the self-discovery, self-realization, quite a number of things. But now, you see, we talk about self-awareness. There is something that we didn't capture. How do I know that I have been self-aware and now I can move on? It's like, how do I know that the car it's in good condition and I can now turn it on to take me to the journey that I want to go? So that is where I want us to begin as we get, because there are people who have, rather they know where they are going. But how do I know that I'm now ready? I am now equipped to get to that destination. Yeah, I begin with you, Gloria.
I actually thought you were going to begin with Isaac.
we can still begin with
let's begin with Isaac.
To answer that question,
yes.
I'll begin by saying we say the other time, self-awareness is a process, and it's a continuous process.
Yeah, sure.
So there is no moment where there is gap. And I'll go back to it's not a conference, it was like a training I was doing to young people some times back. I think I also mentioned it the other time. And I was telling them life is continuous. Life is continuous. And every time you think you have room to make mistakes, or like you are free, you don't take life serious, it will cost you days to come. So now when you come back to the self-awareness, it's a process. Even a man of 50 years, he's still discovering himself. Nobody has ever gotten to their full potential. Nobody. We are still growing.
Yeah.
I think there is somewhere it says, if you stop learning, you stop living. Like you stop growing because you're not learning. So self-awareness, it's learning daily. So the reason why I brought in the part of being a continuous process, it's self-awareness. It's you begin somewhere. Like the desire. It begins by desiring that I want to be somebody, or I want to get to a certain place. Then you begin to build the capacity daily, every day towards that, and you'll find yourself moving. And you face. I'll go back to Bible as our reference. We have this young man called David, and when he was taking care of his father's flock somewhere, and he had handled so many challenges out there in the field, and he never knew that his time to get in the palace had come until he found this there was a challenge somewhere. That is the Goliath that was threatening the army of the Lord. And then he had to come and take that challenge. And that was the door that was opening to. But he was in preparation. he was in preparation. In fact, he was not planning even to get to the palace, but because of that challenge, sometimes you find yourself in a place because you have built the capacity. You find yourself getting being ushered to promotion or to levels that even you had not even thought of them. But because you already have the capacity within you, you already know yourself and you are working towards, you still grow in yourself. You find yourself getting into growing from glory to glory, level to level.
But how do you get to know that now you need to get to that next level?
No, I think
How do you measure whether now you are equipped?
You're equipped.
Yeah.
No, they are. I think it is. We can talk about it in two ways. There are times when we talk of graduation. Now, when you build capacity, and you are probably, that is when you talk about education, the formal one, where you have grown to have done first degree, second degree, so you qualify according to papers. But there are other informal preparations where nobody gives you a certificate to tell you now you are ready. It is within yourself that you've been building capacity. I just talked about David, that nobody gave him certificate to tell him now you can become a king, or you have learned degree 1, 2, or you have masters and PhD, now you can become. There are formal ways to tell you now you are ready, because you have pursued a certain line, and the systems recognizes you as somebody who is qualified to take a mandate or a responsibility in a higher level. But there is those times when you feel like, for me, I'll give my example. For me, I sing. And how I began to sing, it was like a desire. At such a certain moment, I felt I could sing. And then we had an opportunity in our school. I think it was the last term when I was in Form 4. And we just organized a small group. They said, we are going to sing. And then the person that we had chosen to lead in that session, he sang. But I felt this guy, I could have done better than this guy. So the next time we had an opportunity, I demanded and insisted that I'm the one who's going to sing. And it was my first time to sing before multitude. And I said, now, since I've sung and I feel I've done better than the other, it encouraged me to do. Nobody gave me a certificate, but like that one alone. And then I began to just connect myself with people who are musical. And every time I find myself growing, being ushered, being invited in places. So out of that, there was no moment that I was given a certificate. Now you can begin to.
So you get to be in a season of making.
Yeah, it is growing. It's continuous becoming. Continuous becoming. I said you can define it in two ways. There are formal ways to tell you now you can go. Now we send you out. Like what happens in police and they call them the uniform, the discipline, the forces. But there are others where there is totally no qualification. You feel within yourself you have grown to have the capacity to move to the next level.
It's just like when you are cooking food, you get to bake the unga for chapati, and in the mind you already know that I want to have, or rather to make chapati. But in that process of making, there is what is done there until now you get the final product. Similarly with what you are saying. Yeah. Well, so that means before I get to manifest or to actualize, there is a process of making. There is a process of changing shape. There is a process of failure. There is a process of giving up. There is a process whereby I feel now this thing is too much. And I don't have much strength to continue moving. Well, having that, I know where I'm going, and I have tried maybe you tried singing and at some point you felt hii kitu acha ikae. And you still build confidence. And now you are where you are at the moment.
Sure.
Now I'd like to come to you, Gloria. There is this young person who already knows, I know the final product. I really want to become that chapati. That hiyo iko na hizo layers nyingi hiyo chapati. But
Chapati is such a good example.
Lakini hapo
I like the analogy.
brother, in the middle, I give up the moment nimepika chapati
Biscuits.
ikakuwa ni kama biscuit. Nichapa hapa katikati imekuwa kama chuma. Then I give up. I don't have strength to continue. So now, how do I handle that failure?
I love that part. Like I said in the first season we did of this show, I have a boss who particularly loves failures. And she has taught us how to strongly come out of failures. And the most important aspect of coming out of failure is acceptance. We begin there, accepting that this has not worked.
Yes.
In as much as we wanted it to work, in as much as we had all plans, we have a vision board, we have the resources. You may or may not have had the resources, but for whatever reason, you failed, didn't work out. First, you accept. Because when you are in denial, you will try to bulldoze things. Then you will be more frustrated. And you will spend a lot of time there. You will waste a lot of time. So first, you accept that this has not worked. Then the next thing is reflecting. You go back and reflect. What made me end up in this position that I am in today? Because when you look at your vision board, when you look at the goals and the plans that you have, you should have been at a particular place and not where you are in failure. So, what has made me to get here? And you know why we are accepting? Because most of the time, or in some cases, you will find that the failure was caused by our own actions. And if you do not accept that you are at fault, you will try to pin the mistakes on other things. Because remember what we started by saying, self-awareness. So it is an inward reflection. It is all about me. At this point, it's all about me. You know, when we are dealing with maybe, say, company visions and organization or a project that we have, it's different. But when it's a self-awareness journey, it's all about me. So what happened in my circle first, even before I go to the external forces, inside my circle that caused the failures, then you list them down. Maybe it's our behaviors. Remember the first season we talked about discipline. Maybe you didn't have the discipline for it. So after you list them, and you have to be very honest about yourself. Another aspect that can really help is if you feel that you cannot be 100% honest about yourself, then seek feedback. Get feedback from people. I remember there's a season here we talked about mentorship. You get. So do you have a mentor?
Yeah.
If you go, my HR manager always says that there is nothing in this world that is you can achieve alone. You need people. You get. You need people. So if it's a journey that you are beginning of self-awareness, you cannot begin it alone. You need people. Like Isaac was saying, the family setup, your friends, most honest friends, you get. Because we said you might think, Isaac sings. And I love his singing, it is nice, you get. So I also say, I also sing. But I don't sing as well as Isaac, you get. So if I start pursuing singing, and Laban is seeing I'm wasting my potential, you get. So he's there to pinpoint, like, I think this is the direction you should take. So do not go on the self-awareness journey alone. Take somebody you trust with you. Maybe a mentor, a teacher, a parent, a tutor, you get. Such that when there is failure, you can get another person's point of view. You get. There is nothing as hard as accepting I failed. I blundered. Hapa nayo haikuenda. You get. I might not see that aspect, but Laban, you might be able to tell me, you know what? You are a procrastinator. When you say you are going to do something, you don't do it right there.
But you see, Gloria, for me to be, or rather to accommodate this failure, I need to be somebody with an high emotional intelligence.
Yes.
There are people who will fail and they will just fail completely, not to come back again. Because, you know, they are not these people who can sit down to be, rather to be mentored. Our emotional intelligence is pathetic. And the other people who will also sit down and they are going to be mentored to get on the top. That means I need to be teachable, maybe. I don't know. So that I can be helped to get to where I want to go. Because if I have failed and I'm not ready to listen to you, you help me. How will I be, or rather, will I be helped? I die of depression. What should I do?
A wise man once said that every man has their breaking point.
Yes.
Because even a lioness, as difficult as she is, bado huwa anadungwa mimba tu na huo ukali wake, anatulia anatulia, anadungwa mimba be proper na I take through the process.
Okay.
You get. So everybody has a breaking point. For me, I insist that do not take the journey alone. Okay? Even if you start it alone, along the way, find people to help you. No man is an island. You need people to survive. You get. And we encounter that. I've done customer service for most of my profession. And I particularly love the difficult customers, the arrogant ones. I love those. You see, there is a way you can handle someone who is arrogant. Mpaka at the end of the day, they just look at themselves and they're like, I didn't behave right. You get. Because again, it's a two-way traffic. Because if you go this journey alone, then you are going to fail. And you are not going to admit your mistakes. And you are going to stay there down. Who has lost? It's not the other person, it's you. You get. So it's actually a choice you have to make. I like the way Isaac put the introduction. It's a deliberate choice you make. And if you make a choice and you are not willing to follow it through, or along the way, and you see again, we are talking to the youth mostly. That's where our generation is stuck. With thinking we are always right. And we are not going to be taught any other way. Another challenge we have in our generation today is we have this perception of we know so much. I was reading the Word of God, and maybe you can just go and read it. 1 Corinthians, the whole of chapter 3. The writer of 1 Corinthians is very particular, especially about knowledge. And how then you will get to understand why nowadays even the internet has become so magnified that we think we know it all. You get. You don't know it all. You don't need to speak in every forum.
Yes.
You know, you don't need to answer. You see, I see even some of these church WhatsApp groups we have. And when somebody posts a question or something, there's always that person who is na alafu wanagonga nje. We're like, what? We're like, you know what? You don't have to answer everything. You don't have to know it all. And we are stuck in a cocoon, the today generation of I know it all. Because I have seen Laban pursue football and he's a great footballer. I don't sit down. You see that teachable spirit. Once you become teachable. You can be anything. But watch arrogance. Arrogance and ignorance does not go far. And unfortunately, nowadays we are stuck in arrogance in the name of we are challenging the status quo. There's a difference. You see, yes, we are young. Yes, we are enthusiasts. We are seeking knowledge. We are vibrant. We are all that. You get. But at the end of the day, you have never been 30 before. You have never been a CEO before. You have never rehearsed life before. So sit down and be taught. And how I wish our generation today could sit down and be taught. And which is what most of us are not willing to do. We look at those who are gone ahead of us as if they are outdated or they failed. They didn't fail.
So they need to have a teachable spirit.
Very teachable spirit. And that is one of the hardest nut to crack nowadays with the young generation. We are not teachable. Can we be teachable? Can we admit where most of the things we don't know, we are being taught. But we have this and we think we know it all. We can go to Google. Google is good. Google is good. But when it comes especially to the spiritual aspect, Google is the least thing you should count on.
Yeah.
You get. So let's be teachable. Let's break down our spirits. You get. I feel like I can be a preacher. I feel like I want to preach like my father, Pastor Lai. And what do? I go sit down and start my own channel and I'm there. I have nobody who is giving me direction. So when I hit the rock bottom, that's the end of it. That's why you see so many people just rise up and within no time disappear. And you will never see them again. And my prayer and my desire is anybody who starts on the journey of self-awareness ends up in success. Permanent failure is only as a result of arrogance and having an unteachable spirit. Because when you have a teachable spirit, you can never fail.
Wow.
Just to add something before we leave there.
Yeah, sure.
And we say the journey of the self-awareness is a journey. It's a process. And one main component is knowledge or information. You cannot know yourself outside knowledge or outside information. There's just nothing you borrow. It's just like, for example, you have something here. Just touch. I know. Yes, you have something. It was not there when you were this around, probably this size, probably 2 years. It is something that got from inside. It's within you. You get that? There are potential that are within us that we get to discover. And that's now we're talking of the self-awareness bit. She talked about the teachability. Again, when we come to teachability or acquiring that knowledge or information to discover yourself, I'm bringing another aspect where it's possible that you learn from the wrong people or learn or get the wrong information about yourself. And we talked about, I think it was the first session about the self-awareness, where the family is the first feeder or the first teacher. That shapes who you become. That your parent, probably your sibling, the people who are around you. And you see, there are people who have been brought up in a family where they are told you are nothing, you can amount to nothing. And it has gotten into their head that I cannot do anything. Or they have failed in a certain thing, and every time it rings in their mind that I cannot do this thing. why I failed. And probably that is where God wants you to go. But because of the teacher or the one who spoke to you first about it, he gave you a negative word towards that. It may not be negative, again, in other aspects, where probably you get in a concept in a wrong way. Probably when it comes to relationship, you're still discovering yourself. Career, you are in the wrong career because of the advice you received. It was information, right? That was supposed to give you a right direction, but unfortunately, it misled you.
Yeah.
So you find yourself in the wrong place where you are failing every time because of the initial stage of self-awareness. That you feel I've discovered myself. I want to be in the accountancy part or in the probably banking or the teaching sector, but that was someone's leading, and it was a wrong leading because that's not you.
Maybe peer pressure.
Peer pressure. So the self-awareness, now it gets back to us. If you are getting the information, please make sure that you get it from the right people.
Sure.
Well, I think it has been very much illustrative, even more than how we did the other show that we did previously on self-awareness. And somebody has been able to know that I can know that I can achieve a lot, but I can still fail. And if I know I can still fail, I also know that I can still emerge again. Because failure is not final. But you need to build the momentum to accommodate the failure and to be teachable, just like Gloria said. And you get to the place where you want to go. It has been very much educative. And I know that you are getting something. I know you are getting equipped. I know that you are building yourself. Maybe you have failed before, but I think this one, it was for you, and it is going to fuel you. You can start again, and you can get moving. So guys, I want us to come to a closure of this show. And in like 3 seconds, just look direct to your camera and speak to that person who has been watching us and maybe he has failed, maybe he has not failed, and he or she wants to hear something. So you can look direct to the camera and you speak to that live, and I know we shall hear testimonies. Keep on commenting down. The numbers are running down on your screen. Keep following. I believe by the end of the day, we are getting somewhere. I begin with you, Isaac. Look to the camera and speak to the audience.
Okay, thank you so much for such a wonderful session. And I want to speak to a young person who's listening to us somewhere. And probably you have failed. Failure is a communication. Failure is a communication. One, it could be there's something along the way in the line of pursuing what you pursue. There was a mistake. Because when we come to mathematics, the answer at times might be right while the formula is wrong. But many times when the answer is wrong, it means probably the process, somewhere along the line, something was wrong. So when the answer is wrong, or when you fail in life, it is probably along the way there was a mistake somewhere you did. And as my sister said, that is moment to learn, ask question. What could be the problem? Number two, still on the failure. It could be a direction that you're in the wrong path, that you need to find yourself. Because we say it's a journey of self-discovery. There are diverse ways of discovering yourself. Probably you failed in this so that you can be directed to something else. Corona, I think it was a good, it was a good thing to some people. It redirected some people to their lines. That when the job ended where you are working, and now you had to look for a different thing. And as you are looking for something else, you landed in the right path. And today, some people today are saying, it is good that Corona happened. It redirected me. So at times you may face a challenge on the way to be directed. So you need, at that moment, it's time to be sensitive, to learn, to ask questions. Then number three is speaking to young people. The only way we talked about self-awareness is learning. We have a lot of books. Get to learn. Get to read books. Travel. Books is one way that you are able to travel to distances and places that you've never gotten to. I've never been probably into America or wherever, another continent, but you can be able to travel through books. Through books. So get books, read books. You are going to get a diverse way of thinking and interpretation of things. So you're not limited to one way of doing things, probably where you've been brought up. So with diverse knowledge, it will help you to shape you today and your tomorrow. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Isaac, for the great overview of today's discussion. I come to you, Gloria.
To conclude, failure is not the end of it. It's part of it. Actually, when you fail, you accept, you sit down, you reevaluate, and you replan and do it again. You will be glad you failed. I don't know if that's a good thing, but those who have failed, every great man has once failed. And every greatness is built out of a certain failure. You get? So failure is not the end of it. And just to emphasize on what Isaac was saying, make sure you are learning from the right sources. Make sure you are learning from the right avenues. You get? So I particularly wish everybody all the very best as you take on your self-awareness journeys. Like Laban said, if you feel like you have failed and you don't know where to begin to reevaluate your journey, you can reach out to us and we will be more than glad to talk to you. But hey, rise up, pat yourself on the back. Even if you have nobody to talk to, you have God to talk to. So go back and reevaluate. Go back and replan. It is possible, it is doable, and actually it's one of the easiest and most fun. I'm a funnest. Most enjoyable journeys, because once you become self-aware, then the other journeys in life, finding a life partner, doing business, whatever, will become so easy as long as you are self-aware. So all the very best in your self-awareness journey, and we look forward to the testimonies. We look forward to the what are they called, those stories, success stories, because you became self-aware, so now you are good to go. Yeah, so thank you so much, Laban, for having us.
Wow.
Yeah.
It has been an interesting moment, and we thank you so much. We also thank God for giving you this opportunity to watch. And I believe it has been an industrious discussion. Thank you guys for coming. It's been a great moment. And, you can always find a glass of juice and you sip as you come to the end of the show.
Thank you, Laban.
Yeah, it is made for you. So karibuni sana. And we thank God for you. Yeah, anytime we call you again, please find time and come, so that we can be of great help to the generation and the generations that are coming. All right, bye-bye. See you next time.
See you.
Bye.
How can a young person be consistent on a purpose? How can a young person?
You see a person doing or behaving a certain way, it is out of information. You dress like you think.
Yeah.
You talk like you think. Out of what is inside here, the fullness within here, that's what the mouth speaks.
Yeah.
So what you have in your head, you behave like that.
What do you understand by social media?
Yeah, social media, it's a platform. It's a connecting platform.
All right.
Just as the word goes, social media. It's a platform for mostly socializing. It's a media of exchanging information.
To be inspired, be ready to be transformed, be ready to get something great, something that is going to change you. Be ready to receive a word for you.